So back to this bit about exhaustion versus tiredness. Again, just giving you the possibility of maybe thinking about those two things in a way that you might not have heard before. We often use them interchangeably. In terms of the efficacy of applying the work that we do, it's become very useful to define them and recognize them as very separate states of being, right? And the definitions are pretty simple. So for your consideration, let's open the possibility that exhaustion could be a different energy from tiredness in this particular way. We get tired, genuinely tired and feeling tired when we expend lots of energy, right? Over a long period of time. So if we're putting out lots of energy over a long period of time, we get tired. We can feel that sensation of all those things that make us recognize that it's time to rest or it's time to sleep. Exhaustion is actually the exact opposite of that. Exhaustion occurs from holding energy back. So the simple way that I like to keep it simple in my head and think of it so that I can share it with people is you'll get tired from pushing a heavy wheelbarrow of bricks up a hill because you're going to build a hearth up there on top of that hill, right? That'll tire you out. It's gravity working against you. It's a lot of mass and weight. You're expending energy against gravity. You're moving that thing up the hill. You get to the top, you'll be tired. Exhaustion is standing at the top of that hill where the hearth is supposed to be built and holding on to the wheelbarrow full of bricks so that it doesn't race down the hill and crash and spread the bricks everywhere with no other plan, right? So you're just standing, your job now is just you're standing at the top of that hill, holding back that wheelbarrow full of bricks just so it doesn't roll down the hill. Okay. That's holding back. That's what creates the feeling of exhaustion. So where they kind of intersect is that exhaustion is really a feeling of tiredness that you think and feel is never going to end. Right? Think about it just in that practical approach of the example I gave. Pushing a wheelbarrow up the hill, well, there's a purpose, there's a target, there's a finite endpoint. I'm starting at the bottom, I push to the top, I'm done expending that energy. Yeah, I may have to expend more energy to take the bricks out and build them into something useful, but I can clearly be aware and see that the piece that was making me tired has a start point, a middle point, and an end point. Exhaustion in that example hopefully demonstrates the ideas around it that I'm putting forward, because you could stand at the top of that hill, folding that wheelbarrow full of bricks back forever. Why does it feel that way? Well, because as soon as you let it go, you know it's going to go to the end effect that you didn't want, right? It's going to roll down the hill, you're going to lose all the bricks, and you're going to have to go down and pick them up and then wheel it back up the hill. But part of why it feels that way is because the purpose and the energy expended of just holding it up on the top of the hill for what feels like forever isn't a good investment of energy. Right? So you're spending all this energy, but for no particularly valuable purpose. So in simple terms, like I was saying, tired is spending lots of energy over a period of time. Exhausted is holding lots of energy back, which feels like it's going to be forever. It's an indefinite amount of time that you feel like, man, I'm just going to stand here, hold these stupid wheelbarrow with these stupid bricks forever with no purpose. And we could flip the words around. We could, do all that stuff, right? Like the word investment. I'm offering that as a catalyst. If you have other ways to language it or things that are more meaningful to you, by all means, it's not the gospel. It's just the experience and the way I'm languaging the experience we've built over the years from applying these ideas in healing and therapeutic ways. So in other words, when I think about tired and I think about exhausted in those ways, and I treat them like that in people that I'm working with, or watch Call do that, they feel better.